All right, thank you, Tony. And new tonight, Hurricane Joaquin's path looks more promising for southern New England, but state officials say when it comes to weather, anything can happen and that we should be prepared for the worst. Eyewitness News reporter Jared Pliner joins us now live in Narragansett with the important details on how the state is getting storm ready.
Mike, good evening. We're actually using our own truck to block the wind here. Tony told me a short while ago, gusting to 40 to 45 miles per hour. We're going to push in and give you a look here. People driving in and out of local lookout points here in Narragansett trying to take in the high waves and the low visibility. As high winds independent of hurricane activity pound our camera at Point Judith Light, Senator Jack Reed thanks staff at Rhode Island EMA in Cranston as they watch the name to our south.
For the great work they're doing preparing for the storm Joaquin. They're tracking it very closely. We still have to be prepared. We can't assume that it's just going out to sea. Constantly updated data forming a cone pointing east and away from the seaboard.
That's a prediction based on the current conditions today. There's a 70% chance that the hurricane stays within that cone, but there's also a 30% chance that it's outside of that cone. And when you measure that distance to Rhode Island, southern New England, we still could be in for some rough weather, whether it's TV or radio or the internet. Be aware of what's going on in your surroundings, especially if you live along the coastal waters of Rhode Island, where again flooding, tides, and surf are dangerous. We now have the first time for a notification system statewide. So if you have a cell phone that's operating off a cell tower on Rhode Island, you will get an emergency alert notice. It can be tailored to specifics, high winds, high waters, etc. Atlantic hurricane season technically closes November the 30th. End of October, first part of November, we've seen the hurricanes. But we have now 4 or 5 more weeks where we have to be ready.
As we come out here on another live look, again, very choppy conditions out here. Ferry service scrubbed in its entirety all of today, Friday. We're going to talk to the company, Block Island Ferry, about what lies ahead. That's coming up new at 6 o'clock. For now, live in Narragansett with the South County Mobile Newsroom, I'm Jared Pliner, Eyewitness News.
All right, thank you, Tony. From the South County Mobile Newsroom, Eyewitness News moves over to Narragansett now, where ferry service to Block Island was canceled today. The high choppy seas were not safe for travel. New at 6. We're talking to the company's operators to see how they made that call. Eyewitness News reporter Jared Pliner joins us now live at Point Judith Light. Jared.
Mike, good evening. I'm told it is not typical for this time of year to have an all-out cancellation of service like we saw today, that is more likely in winter, for example. But as you can see behind me and potentially hear through my microphone, today was just not a good day. The locally iconic purple flag, stationary vessels, and the quaint board spell it out. Block Island high-speed and regular ferry service, scrub Friday.
With the weather information we've had in the last couple of days, it wasn't that difficult to make the call this morning.
Coupled with a canceled crossing late yesterday, not because of Joaquin, but because of the rough system we find ourselves in at the moment. High waves and relentless winds all day. The
sea conditions at Old Harbor today are probably 8 to 10 feet. It's not worthwhile. It's not safe to transport passengers between Point Judith and Block Island. The sea conditions get typically worse in the shallow water as you approach Old Harbor.
But since I mentioned Joaquin and potential impact on mainland to island service.
Too soon to call. The track keeps changing, but we're going to continue to monitor the weather. The National Hurricane Center forecasts, National Weather Service. We're listening to the Coast Guard and all those other folks, and we'll update our website accordingly.
Also social media, and they have recorded alerts or messages if you call their main phone line. And as stated at the top, we have learned that high-speed service for tomorrow, Saturday, October the 3rd, canceled, but they are still monitoring the traditional lower-speed service. So, again, check some of those resources if you plan on heading out to the island or coming back. Live in Narragansett tonight with the South County Mobile Newsroom, I'm Jared Pliner, Eyewitness News.